every single belt in AEW and WWE and what their state is right now. Are they a really good belt right now? Are they a bad belt right now? Or are they just kind of there and helping out whoever wins them? Now, there are a few belts that are in both companies that aren't technically on this list. For example, the Ring of Honor tag team titles, because they are technically in AEW, yes, but I'm not going to really include them because they're not AEW branded belts, so just ignore those for now. We're going to get started with the AEW. What belt is that? International? I think that, yeah, it's the international title, currently held by Will Ospreay. This belt is in a really good position. I'm going to put it in great right now. Obviously, with Ospreay holding the belt, I don't think it's in a very good position. It's in a great position. It's Will Ospreay. Not surprising here, but I think the belt has been held regularly by good talent and put over whenever someone wins it. Next, we're going to be looking at the Continental title, formerly unified with that international belt. I think this belt is in a good spot right now. Yes, Okada is holding it, and he's amazing too, but he doesn't defend it, I think, as often as Ospreay does, or appear as often, and I think it doesn't look as nice. I'm going to include kind of how the belt looks as well into my ranking. Someone put it in good. I can argue putting it in the lower half of great, but for now, just put it in good for the moment. Next, we're looking at the tag team titles. I don't really like where these are right now. I don't think they need to be on the Young Bucks of all people in that company. There are 8,000 different other tag teams because there's 80 bazillion people on the roster, it feels. So there's definitely better options to have the tag titles on somebody, and I don't like that it's the Young Bucks who are following up the Sting and Darby Allin run that was so beloved. And then we have the TBS title. I don't know why. But I really like the TBS title. I really like who's holding it right now in Mercedes Moné. I think her matches are great. I think Willow Nightingale's run was really good. I think Chris Statlander's run was great. And really every title reign, Julia Hart, Jade Cargill way back when, all the belt reigns have been really good, and I've enjoyed all of them. I think the belt looks kind of nice. It's a little bit like empty in the middle, I'd say, other than the TBS, but otherwise, it's still a great belt. I love where it is at the moment. Then we have the Trios titles, currently held by the Bang Bang Gang, one of the best theme songs in AEW at the moment, and they're going to be going in the great section. Is this just because I like the Bang Bang Gang's theme song? Probably, but it's also Jay White, it's also Juice Robinson, and they're all a good group of guys to hold the belt. It's Austin and Colton Gunn. Yes, technically Juice doesn't hold the title, but he's an accompaniment of the belts, I guess. For example, in the Bloodline, if Solo and Tama and the other Tongan are holding trios titles, and he's like Paul Heyman, I guess, as a comparison. I'm not saying Juice Robinson equals Paul Heyman, but still. Anyways, then we have the AEW Women's World Championship. I like how this belt is being run right now. Toni Storm's held it for quite a while at this point and put on good matches whenever she retains the belt. And it does feel like a real prize when someone does inevitably beat her for that title, whenever that may come. Then we have the men's AEW World title. This belt looks amazing. It's in a great spot right now. With Swerve holding the belt, I feel there are 2 or 3 people who could hold it as well. People like Samoa Joe, he could hold it. I could see maybe if you push him a few little more for a couple months. Daniel Garcia, I still really like Daniel Garcia. I don't know why his push just kind of went, So, oh well. But still a great belt, great design as well. Look at it, it's beautiful. But all in all, great place for it to be. Then we're going to go to the WWE side of things for one spot, the NXT Women's North American Championship. I held off on making this video because I wanted the first ever champion to be crowned. That was Kalani Jordan a few days ago at NXT Battleground in the UFC Apex. And it was a great match to open up the belt. Now, we don't really have anything to base it off of yet, so I'm just going to be putting it in good for now since we don't really, again, have anything to compare it to, I guess, because there's never been a women's mid-card title in really any sect of the WWE AEW area. But I'm assuming it'll be semi-equal to the TBS title in how it operates in the company. Then we have the FTW title. Chris Jericho's holding the belt. Nope. No. It's not good because Chris Jericho's holding the title. Bad. But otherwise, Hook when he was champion, that was really fun. And Taz way back when he was champion, great. But it's currently it's in the hands of Chris Jericho, which is terrible. TNT title, this was in a okay spot before Adam Copeland got injured. So for now, it's just going to be kind of meh. I don't think you have much to do right now. It's a vacant title, so no one even holds the belt. So you can't really say, oh, this title reign's been really good. Now, I love Vacant being the champion. Vacant is a great Twitter account if you don't follow him. But still, can't really base it off of a non-existent title reign, so we're just going to put it in meh for the moment. I do think it can be elevated to be in that great category, but it needs a great champion to help them out with that. Then we are fully locked in on the WWE side of things, first with the NXT Men's Championship. This is currently held by Trick Williams. It's in a pretty solid spot right now. I'm going to be putting it in great. I feel like it's a prestigious title, not a title Trick's going to be losing really anytime soon. Ethan Page had a chance a few days ago. Again, we're going back to Battleground, but could not go through and win the belt. But if you give it another 3 months, I'd say, I think this title will be on someone's shoulders that isn't named Trick Williams, as Trick will probably go to the main roster, and it'll be an interesting title change seeing a heel win the belt, but it will still feel like a prestigious title when it's won. Team North American Championship, this belt looks really good, and Oba Femi is the champion. He's really good. Hall of Fame, I think this is inevitable. The belt also looks beautiful. Like, it's brown, which is not a color you see very often. It's on really none of the other belts here except really the FTW title, but it looks incredible. Oba is a great champion. We just saw him have another banging triple threat at Battleground, and all in all, it's an amazing belt with an amazing lineage as well. Then we have the NXT Tag Team titles, currently held by Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I think they're in a good spot right now. They seem like a prestigious prize to win. You win the NXT Tag titles, cool, because Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they're a high-flying duo. They're going to beat you up. They're going to beat you down. They're going to run around the whole time while you do it. If you're able to beat them, that's a good thing for you. You've won the tag titles. Great spot. Look a little too they look like a baseball home plate, but still good enough at the same time. Then we have the NXT Women's Championship, currently held by Roxanne Perez. I'd say this is in about the same spot as the NXT Men's title, maybe a little bit higher due to the fact that you have some more top contenders going for it, like we saw with Jordan Grace at Battleground, which is kind of unprecedented based on what we've seen from WWE over the past couple of years. But still, it's a great title that would feel really big to win once someone beats Roxanne for the belt. Then we have the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Obviously, this is a Hall of Fame level belt. The belt, in my opinion, looks pretty nice. A lot of people say, it's boring, it's bland. But I actually like the gold and black mix. I don't think it's as bad as some people market it as. So it's that good. And then you have Cody being champion. And whenever someone beats him, it'll be a mind-blowing event because so many people are so used to, multi-year long title reigns for every single title in the WWE. And I love Triple H's booking, but he books way too slowly. Not everyone needs to have, a 6-month title reign with whatever belt they have, but nonetheless, it's a very prestigious title. Then we have the Women's World Championship. This belt is good. I think Liv Morgan is a solid champion. And hoping to enjoy her reign, but I can't get behind it being like a top belt until she has some solid title defenses under her belt, because she won it once. She doesn't have a title match on the next pay-per-view, so we don't really know where the belt's going to go, as she's kind of stuck in this love triangle with Dom and Rhea for the moment. Then we have the Men's World Championship held by Damian Priest. This is also a good belt. It kind of veers into great occasionally. But Damian, he's a great champion. No, is he? But Damian, he's a pretty solid champion. I don't think he's incredible, but good enough. And then you have a lot of guys contending for the belt that you would love to see as champ, like Drew, Punk, Braun in a sense. And it feels like something that a lot of people want to win, which adds to the prestige of the title. Then we have the Intercontinental title. This spot is in the Hall of Fame very easily with what Gunther did for the title. This shouldn't come as a surprise for anybody that I'm putting it here. It looks fine. I think the white strap one from earlier looked better, but still, it's a great title, a top prize someone really wants to win, but not at the same time one that's, just there to be a top title. It feels like real value with the belt in kayfabe and shoot. Then we have the tag team titles, the better of the two tag titles in the WWE. I'm going to put these in good. Again, they're kind of the same argument as the NXT tag belts, where it's like you have an interesting team as A-Town Down Under who are holding them right now. Be cool if they, lose the belts and whoever beats them has, like a cool thing to have, but it's not, insanely good, such as something like the Trios titles. And it's somewhere along the same lines as the NXT belts. Then we have the United States title, currently held by Logan Paul. This belt is weird. I'm putting it in matte because the design is mid because it just says, champion! Yeah! I think whoever holds this belt might be a champion. I can't really tell. It's not very definitive. But nonetheless, Logan holding it for so long and then just not defending it is the problem that the Universal title had when Brock Lesnar was champion. Brock was champion, and it's like, cool, he's the world champion. Why is he not on TV? And that's the problem that Roman had with his belt for a while. But now that Cody's on, he's on TV more regularly. And once someone is on TV often with a belt, I feel like it's a prestigious title, or at least relatively regular. But Logan's not really on TV that often. He's really only defended the belt 4 or 5 times, if that. And it doesn't feel like something that is a big thing to win right now. But I'm hoping when LA Knight inevitably wins it at SummerSlam, that it will feel big for him. Then we have the Women's World Championship, currently held by Bayley. I think this belt is in a great spot right now. You could argue a bit into the good section, but it's not something that, is a really, really top belt. But if you win it, it's like cool because Bayley's beaten a lot of people in the process of being the women's champ, which makes it a more prized belt to have. For example, when Gunther first won the IC title, okay, he won it. But then he beat people over and over and over again. And even after a few months, that belt felt so much more elevated than it had been for years prior. And the same thing goes for the Women's World title, or the WWE Women's title, because they have different names. But same premise, obviously not the same level of such, but good and all. Bayley should lose the title in about 4 months. Next, we have the women's tag team titles, currently held by Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I was going to originally put these in bad because, well, for like years, they've been genuinely terrible. But I like how they're starting to kind of get them out of a ditch of sorts. So I'm going to keep them in meh for the moment. Because if you look at the belts as a whole, they look fine. They look like Beyblades. But with the way that Bianca and Jade have been running, it kind of feels like they're squashing the entire division. Like, I love that they're, getting pushed, but they're not really having competitive matches. It's almost always going to be just a dominant squash for them, maybe an extended one with a little bit of offense from the opposing team. But all in all, I don't think it's in the good tier yet. I think they need to have more competitive matches before I'm really able to say that. And then we have the pizza belts, the Raw, women's Raw tag team titles. They're basically the same things. Bad, bad, bad. I hate these titles. They look like pizza, one. They're held by the Awesome Truth, who are funny, but it's 2024, and they don't defend the titles that often. Why are they still champions? WrestleMania was like 2 months ago. But why are they still champions? They do not need to be champions. The belts are terrible looking, and I just do not like really anything about them, especially on Raw of all things, because there are a lot of good tag teams that just can't win anything because the Awesome Damn Truth still have the belts. So that's my review of every single championship in AEW and WWE. Yes, the Speed title exists. That would probably veer somewhere in the good area. And those, obviously, Ring of Honor tag titles, world title, as I was mentioning earlier. We are going to ignore those for the moment. But what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know it in the comments down below. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good on, to us, go whatever. Make sure you're watching any former or future episodes of this channel. And goodbye.